Our report is all about learners with additional needs. Bosigen, Valdes, Batay-An. First, enumerate and define different learners with additional needs. A. Learners who are gifted and talented. Students with disabilities and skills perform or have a strong expertise of higher level in one or more field than those of their age, knowledge, and context. Gifted students have exceptional talent in one or more academic areas, whereas talented learners possess extraordinary abilities in a specific subject. B. Learning with difficulty seeing. A student eyesighted has a different accuracy than the normal one, indicating that he or she has visual acuity. C. Learners with difficulty hearing. This term applies to a student that has a hearing dysfunction that disrupts his or her academic performance. D. Learning with difficulty in communication. A student difficulties, whether it is about orally protecting thoughts and needs or knowing what people are saying. It includes articulation, phonological fluency, and voice disorders. E. Learners with difficulty moving or walking. This refers to a child who has challenges with his or her gross and fine motor development. F. Learners with this difficulty remembering and focusing. It is a neurological condition that inhibits your ability to pay attention, stay still, and regulate your behavior. 2. Compare and contrast the learners with additional needs based on the identification and learning characteristics. A. Learners who are gifted and talented. You need to locate the student domain of giftedness and describe it as well as talented. Their learning characteristic can be observed based on their intellectual curiosity and independence in learning. B. Learning with difficulty seeing. The student want to sit near the blackboard or the instructional materials to have a clear vision of it. Most of the lessons are performed through blackboard writing, presentations, or by giving them handouts. C. Learning with difficulty hearing. We can identify them when they speak loudly and ask for information to be repeated again and again. Their learning characteristic can be described as the note taker in the class. D. Learning with difficulty in communication. Students in the aspect have noticeable delays and difficulty in speech or in using languages. They have limited vocabularies, and the reason why teachers and parents must be aware of their actions or condition. E. Learners with difficulty moving or walking. It implies the developmental coordination disorder in which the children show difficulties and delays in their fine and gross motors, but they can still exceed in their knowledge, creativity, and language skills. F. Learners with difficulty remembering and focusing. To identify this, consultation with their parents, specialists, and their teachers must occur first. In their learning characteristics, they can experience difficulties in their academic performance and language skills, literacy, and math. G. Learners with difficulty with self-care. The cognitive deficits which manifest as difficulties with self-care can be identified at a very young age, and also by using the intellectual test. To their learners' characteristics, they have some difficulties in remembering and understanding the consequences of their action, but this said to be friendly and sociable. Number 3. What challenges do learners with speech and language difficulties encounter in the areas of communication and socialization? The answer is they may experience some articulation disorder in which a child is incapable to deliver a given sound physically. The child can also have an issue in creating sentence from appropriately. Moreover, the difficulties with rhythm and timing in speech are there that can ended affect in terms of their socializing or communication aspect. Lastly, is the voice disorder in which a child's voice may be excessively breathy or too high-pitched. All of these can breathe and effective communication. Number 4. What accommodation can be given to other learners with communication difficulties? The answer is appropriate UDL must be provided in this case. It is beneficial to them when you put pictures, chart, and the other visual aids when explaining with a clear size, and you can also provide a written copy. Number 5. What are the similarities and differences between learners with developmental coordination and stereotypic movement disorder? The answer for number 5 is the similarities between the latter are they are both in the identification of the learners with difficulty in walking or moving that affect the children. Developmental coordination disorder is a mobility disorder characterized by difficulties occurring fine in gross motor skills when they opposed to children. While stereotypic movement disorder is a neurological condition in which a person performs repetitive, purposeless movement. Number 6. How can a classroom be arranged to help learners with difficulty in moving or walking? The answer is, the first thing is to allow for a peripheral seating near the teacher for fair accommodation for it. Or perhaps you can adjust the chair or this height so he or she can move comfortably. Number 7. How is learner's disability or LD different from specific learner disability? What are the different types of SLD? The answer for number 7 is a learning disabilities is described as a lack of intellectual capability and disabilities with daily life. According to Natalie Williams, the severity of a learning disorder can range from mild to moderate to an extreme to profound. While a specific learner disability is a different or difficulty in specific facets of learning. It includes a dyslexia problem with reading, spelling, and oral, dyscalculia, difficulties in a mathematics aspect, and dysgraphia, issues in their writing. Number 8. How can lessons and concepts be presented to minimize learning among students with memory and focusing difficulties? The answer for number 8 is, in this generation in which technology shapes various educational instructions, it could be appropriate when we using reading materials that include rich visual presentation in the form of photos, graphic organizers, and diagrams. Additionally, to retain the lesson hands-on activity with the use of multi-sensorial and positive teachers interaction can help them. Number 10. Choose a self-care skills and apply task analysis to help a child the skills. Identify the step and materials you will use. Our answer to number 10 is the hand washing technique step. First thing to do, wet hand with warm water. The second one, add soap to get rid of germs. Third, scrub front and back of hands for at least 20 seconds. Fourth, rinse hand under warm water. Fifth, dry hands with a clean towel. The task analysis for washing hands properly. That's all about our report today. Thank you for listening.